1,000 blocks away from this fight is my new Tiger Aura's Multi-Launcher 2.0 hidden behind the wall, but my opponent doesn't know that. Before we skip to the end of the fight, let me show what I mean by Multi-Launcher and all that. I had asked my friend to join my server so I could show him the video I was creating, but first I wanted us to duel, so here I am now, waiting to launch the arrows from another account. And when I get some distance, I whip bubble so I can safely alt tab and fire the arrows.
What? What?
Yes.
What? Huh?
Yes. Huh? I'm so happy that worked. Oh my.
Well, I'm genuinely confused. And from where did you... Oh, you crafted it? Wait, you crafted it, but how did you shoot it?
After that little surprise, I showed him the showcase video and explained what I was working on.
Wait, it's actually crazy. Imagine you have this in a server.
Yeah, it's super crazy. It's super easy to build as well. You need basically no resources. The only resources you need is the blaze rods to make the potions and a couple of redstone and slime.
Can you one-shot any armor with any enchantment?
Yeah, we were maxed out.
Even if it was netherite?
Yeah, netherite doesn't even protect, I guess, more damage in that way.
Okay.
First, we will be checking out the mechanics to show how my new multi-launcher is easy to build in survival, and see what the best things to launch are, with multiple cool variants of each thing. After we've understood more about the contraption, we'll unfold the reasons why this overpowered technique has been kept secret for more than 9 months. Lastly, I'll make an example of how to make a custom multi-launcher hidden inside of any Minecraft base. Arrows do more damage the faster that they travel, and my accurate arrow launcher travels 1500 blocks per second, which one-shots players in protection for netherite armor. It can also launch any entity 8000 blocks per second at launch, which one-shots wardens if you launch arrows, the monster with the most health in the game. Before we check out all the different launchers in more detail and how to use them, as well as check out another cool item to launch that I haven't showed yet, I will need to quickly explain the main mechanics of my multi-launcher, like how is this small machine launching stuff so fast. It's all possible because of this item, the wind charging potion, a newly added potion from the 1.21 Tricky Trials update. When a mob dies with the wind charging effect, a wind charge will spawn and explode under the mob's body. By having a large amount of mobs with the wind charging effect die at the same time, each wind charge that spawns will stack the explosion effect and launch all entities within the range much further. The simplest, quickest way to get a large amount of mobs over and over again is to use another potion added in the 1.21 Tricky Trials update, the Infestation Potion. When a mob with this effect takes damage, there's a chance that silverfishes spawn. Luckily for my contraption, there are armadillos and allies in the game. These mobs have ways to take a small amount of damage over and over again without dying. Armadillos, when inside of their armor shell, take reduced damage, reducing half a heart to nothing, and allies can regenerate health quicker than a fire can do damage to them. Now here is how my multi-launcher works, step for step. I like to gather 8 to 15 allies or armadillos onto the campfire one by one. The more you put there, the more silverfishes will spawn, but it can also make the server lag and your FPS lower. Right below the campfire is a dispenser with one infestation potion that I can activate with a button to start charging up the machine with silverfishes. The mobs push each other into another one by one below, but you can also lure in the silverfishes by standing above the hole. Close the trapdoor once you have the amount of silverfishes you want. Can then also make an opening to the XP farm part of the contraption and kill the rest to make it lagless, and get XP I guess. Connect the activation redstone line to wherever you like, for example hundreds of blocks away, and then activate the launching process whenever, as long as the silverfishes keeps being loaded. When activating the launching process, the machine uses precise timings to do everything in the right order. Depending on the type of launcher you're currently using, the redstone will put the arrows, TNT or player into position. Then the redstone will firstly activate a dispenser to throw a potion of wind charging at the silverfishes, following up with another dispenser that kills all silverfishes at the exact same time with an instant damage potion. As the silverfishes are in their death animations, the redstone retreats pistons to make an opening for the bodies so they can get pushed by another piston or two, which will make them get into the best position just moments before their animations finishes. When the silverfish bodies finally disappear, they release one wind charge per body, which all explodes at the same moment, launching the entities however fast you had chosen. This is the first Minecraft video of many that I have planned to make, though I was originally going to create my upcoming video before I started working on this one, and I spent so much more time on this video than I was planning to. But I felt like I had to start making this video first, now that someone else had discovered and created an Elytra Launcher using the wind charging stacking tech. I thought this tech wouldn't be uploaded in many more months until I made a video on it, because I've been saving this tech for more than 9 months already. But now that you've watched a good bit of the video, I'm convinced you will be interested in my upcoming videos. I usually don't share strategies I come up with for everyone to see, so that I can keep the competitive advantage until I have used them. So, if these videos get enough love, I'll keep sharing cool and never before seen competitive strategies for survival Minecraft. I think it's such a complex and amazing game with endless possibilities, and so much strategy left to be developed. So help me make it more accessible for everyone to enjoy. Consider subscribing, and maybe even go ahead and amaze your friends by showing them this video. I would appreciate it. My next video is also about another massive new strategy for competitive survival Minecraft. As far as I know, the horizontal Elytra Launcher using the new wind charging potion effect was uploaded for the first time just a couple of weeks ago. And it was using a chicken farm, while I used silverfishes. I actually discovered all of these things and created a 3-in-1 version with an XP farm, arrow cannon and Elytra player launcher more than 9 months ago, which was very similar to my multi-launcher 2.0 version. And I haven't seen anyone use wind charging potions to launch anything other than players. But I didn't think about uploading anything related to Minecraft back then, because I was competing in speedrun competitions in custom Fortnite maps, winning most of the cash tournaments like Scissors Death Run, and hoping for rocket racing to succeed. And so the first video that showcased an Elytra player launcher with wind charging chickens got over 500,000 views, so I couldn't stop myself from getting a little jealous because I knew about this mechanic more than 9 months ago, and I had a version of it that I thought was better and could go around double the speed. If I remember correctly, back then I got some inspiration from people making use of a breeze's wind charges to launch players and arrows that could one-shot, but they were much harder to build in survival, while taking a much longer time to charge up and not being very accurate. Maybe, just maybe, people have known about this dangerous tech for months and months, keeping it for themselves to use, or just not wanting to unleash it into the world, as it could be meta-destroying or cause too much trouble. I don't know if I want to share exactly how to build it, or share a world download either, because then servers could start lagging too much and people might get mad that they get one-shot and losing all their gear after hours and hours of progress. And if too many people start building contraptions like this, I wouldn't be surprised if infestation and wind charging potions got banned in most servers and events, just like Crystal PvP because of being too overpowered. Though if you really want to build one of these yourself, I'm sure you can figure it out. Just maybe projectile protection will become the meta from now on. If I got asked what all functions of a redstone comparator are, I'm not sure if I could answer correctly. I'm no redstone player, but I've been a contender of being the best speedrunner in Fortnite, where discovering new game mechanics and techniques is one of the biggest parts of succeeding at the top level. And that's what I love to do, search for better strategies. I'm thankful to the creative mode speedrunning, rocket racing and zero build communities, and the friends I made through my journey in all different games. And I'm sorry if someone thought I was complaining too much about luck and stuff. It was very stressful for me, but people can change. There's not much left I want to do there. Instead, I want to do stuff in the game I love the most. For instance, figure out the best strategies for competitive survival Minecraft. The wind charges can launch any throwable item or mob, any entity I think, like potions, villagers, falling animals or dripstone, and even launch you from the Ender Dragon fights to the Outer End Islands. Launching arrows is my favorite, but I wonder what ideas other people could come up with. Which items do you think could be the most fun? Is there something I didn't talk about that would be awesome to launch? I would love to discuss this with you down in the comments of this video. The wind charging potion and the wind charge item has so much possibilities. I am definitely going to make more videos around them in the future. Now I will go over the things I found most useful to launch. Keep in mind that most of this video is made on the latest version, 1.21.5, so no guarantees that it will work perfectly on other subversions or future updates. Let's start with arrows, which I've showed a lot of already as it's my favorite thing to launch. But there's more very useful things about it. Like the more damage something does, the more durability it removes. And arrows do more damage the faster they travel, so it can even kill players holding unbreaking free shields if enough arrows hit the shield. The arrow launcher can one-shot if you want it to, as well as customize it to shoot how many arrows you want in whatever directions you want, from going straight through one block holes to shotgun-like, and having the arrows kill everything within 180 horizontal degrees. To make the base contraption into an arrow launcher, I add a dispenser with a redstone clock to set up the arrows, and a piston with a slime block to throw the arrows up to the silverfish's wind charges at launch. It's possible to fully automate the arrow cannon, so that you can start charging up the machine from anywhere as long as it's loaded, as well as make it fire the arrows whenever. You don't need another account or player to launch the arrows like I did when testing it against my friend. Could connect it up to a long redstone line, and even use chunk loaders if you wanna shoot really far. It can still work on high distances, like how I just did it, if all the chunks in the arrows has path or loaded. You can load 16 chunks in one direction, and another player can load 16 from the other direction. So the arrows will travel out of the first player's render distance, but at the same time load into the other player's render distance. That's important because if the arrows get unloaded, they will stop moving. I thought of some ways to use my arrow launcher, both in PvP scenarios and out of PvP. While fighting, you can choose to dodge your own arrows or survive them while your target dies. Dodge your arrows by shielding, crouching, crawling, jumping, wind charging, building a wall or going behind any blocks like a tree, or digging down. And you can survive them while your opponent dies by using a Turtle Master Potion or Projectile Protection Armor, or just eat an enchanted golden apple if you have set the arrows to deal just the right amount of damage to not kill you but still kill your opponent. Out of combat, you can fire the accurate arrow launch through windows into buildings, or you could automate it to shoot spread shots toward a popular location, or even make it do a certain amount of damage, like 9 hearts, to troll people or make them one-shottable from a sword hit. Now, for the Elytra Launcher, I'll start with mentioning that it works in the Nether too, so you could travel 320,000 overworld blocks in just a couple dozen seconds. It works fine in single player, but when I built it on a survival multiplayer server, I got teleported back to the launcher. I found out how to fix that issue now. The easiest fix is to just not launch yourself at too high speeds. When I was testing on a private server and looking through the game rule commands and found the disable elytra check and disable movement check game rules that I could set to false or true. The elytra one didn't seem to change anything with my Elytra Launcher, but when I typed this command, it fixed the TP back problem. So if you want this to work on a friend's multiplayer server at high speeds, ask the owner to type this command. but be aware that doing that might turn off some inbuilt anti-cheats. I'm not sure. Also, both the server and your own hardware needs to keep up the chunk loading for the Elytra Launcher to work properly and not lag you out. The server and your hardware will probably not keep up loading new chunks if those chunks have not been loaded before. So you'll most likely only be able to travel at the fastest speeds without lagging out or crashing if the server have loaded the chunks you're traveling through before. So I recommend to use the Elytra Launcher at lower speeds before you've loaded most chunks. To use it at lower speeds, just close the trap door when there are less silverfishes. This is where the Enderpearl Launcher variant comes in very good use. Is what I'd say before I discovered that Enderpearls stop moving if they go too fast or something. I'll talk about the Enderpearl Launcher soon. Anyway, the Elytra Launcher can make you travel 30,000 blocks in 7 seconds with a max velocity of 8,000 blocks per second. And I guess other entities also get launched at the same speeds. To reach that speed, I used 500 silverfishes. That's the max amount I tested. But 90 silverfishes is enough and the most reasonable to use at launch, so it doesn't lag too much. With 90 of them, you can also just look up a little at launch to go some hundreds of blocks upward, as well as thousands forward in an instant. So you can continue flying infinitely until the Elytra durability runs out if you do it correctly. Like launching arrows, with TNT you can also one-shot by igniting multiple TNT at the same time. It can also destroy a wall with the first TNTs, and then some ticks later the rest of the TNT goes inside and explodes there. If somebody checks for traps inside, under and around a building, they won't find anything, but you can still get a lot of TNT to explode inside it. Though, unlike launching arrows, I think with TNT you can even insta-kill a player holding a totem of undying. To change the launcher for TNT, I add dispensers with TNT that drops into water with timed redstone. I made Enderpearls consistently launch 3000 to 5000 blocks. If it travels too fast, it unloads, so it's actually kind of similar to the player launcher, where you can't launch it too fast or it will glitch out. The most consistent way I found of launching pearls used water, so it's not usable in the nether. Without the Elytra, you can launch players so high up, so that they can run in the air all the way from the Ender Dragon fight to the outer end islands and end cities, like tens of thousands blocks upward. In my opinion, all the different launchers I've shown are by far the best of their kinds for survival Minecraft. Mostly because they are so easy to build compared to other awesome contraptions, like the orbital strike cannon. There's no need for a lot of expensive TNT or needing the server to allow TNT duping. You can build my multi-launcher in just a few minutes and it's super quick to charge up. You can launch anything with the same machine and customize it to launch things in whatever directions or ways you want, if you're willing to spend more time on it. But if you know any other good contraptions similar to this, please share the name of them in the comments. The most difficult resources to get are a couple of slime, the brewing ingredients and the armadillos or allies, which are all pretty easy to obtain. I would guess it would be consistently speedrunnable in an hour from the start of a brand new Minecraft world. The launcher can be completely hidden and be super accurate, or cover all the areas you want, within basically 360 degrees. My design is based on the wind charging potion, and is very focused on the competitive survival multiplayer part of the game, and survival efficiency, as that is what I want to mostly be making videos on. Tiger Aura's multi-launcher. One contraption, multiple uses. Here I have pasted the 3-in-1 arrow launcher, player launcher and XP farm. I'm going to go through the process of using it. You can automate the whole process by adding more redstone, but I like to just break or place the 4 blocks manually to change it from an arrow launcher to an Elytra launcher, or the other way around. I just used this base design that I built before thinking of adding my multi-launcher to it, so I just removed all the blocks that are in the way of the arrows and the Elytra launch. It's of course fully possible to have a base that fully hides the contraption and opens holes in the walls as the launcher gets activated using pistons. I recently saw someone using gravity blocks to deal suffocation damage to the armadillos in an XP farm. Then I upgraded my contraption to about half its size. Anyway, a question for you. Should I make some video where I speedrun making my arrow launcher on survival multiplayer servers? By using the information in this video, anyone can become a player to be reckoned with. But of course you want more. Imagine how fast you'd be insta-killing players by combining this knowledge with the secret strategies that is beginning to revolutionize how to get stacked loot as fast as possible. Phew, finally finished this. Now I can actually start making the videos I planned long ago.